Well, day 3 of the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial has wrapped. For hours, the jury heard Cassie Ventura detail the alleged physical, mental, and sexual abuse that she claims to have suffered at the hands of Combs. The 55-year-old is charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation for the purpose of prostitution. Ventura, who is 8.5 months pregnant, is the prosecution's star witness. Here are just a few of the graphic details that Ventura described on the stand today. Ventura was asked if she had ever started any of the physical confrontations with Combs. She said that she did initiate some of the fights, but that Combs was never injured by her. Ventura said that she saw Combs physically assault other people as well, employees, assistants. She said that one time Combs attacked a friend of hers, dangled her off a balcony, and then threw her down on patio furniture. Ventura also described a night she had with Combs back in 2018 as their relationship was coming to an end. She had started dating her now husband, Alex Fine. She said that she and Combs went out for a nice dinner together, but then when he brought her back home, he raped her in her living room. She said she remembers crying and saying no. We also heard about rapper Kid Cudi, who you see here, who she said that he and Ventura began dating in 2011. Ventura said that Combs was furious when he found out and that he beat her, that he trashed her hotel room, destroying furniture and leaving urine and feces behind. She also claimed that Combs threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car. And we should note, Kid Cudi did have a car that exploded. He wasn't hurt, and no one was ever charged with the crime. Ventura also said that Combs threatened to release 2 freak-off videos if she didn't stop dating him. Ventura said that once Kid Cudi's car exploded, she ended her brief relationship with him. Now, the infamous hotel surveillance footage that came to the public's attention last year was a big part of the testimony, as it was yesterday. But today, the jury saw the full unedited version of the altercation that took place at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles on March 5th, 2016. The full footage is 15 minutes long, so we're not going to show it all to you. But here, we see Cassie standing by the hotel's house phone. She testified that she was trying to call downstairs for help. We then see Combs sitting down next to her, pick up a vase and throw it against the wall, shattering it. Right there. One more time. You can see it right here. Pick up the vase, throw it. Eventually, hotel security arrives. Now, this person testified on Monday, saying that Combs eventually offered him a wad of cash to stay quiet, but he didn't take it. He did say, however, that he instructed Combs that he couldn't continue disturbing the other guests. With the help of hotel security, Ventura eventually left the hotel, and a cleaning crew arrived later to deal with the mess left by Combs. So today, Ventura went into further detail, describing for the jury what happened after the event in the video. She claims that Combs wouldn't stop sending her text messages, things like, "Call me, yo, please call me. You're going to abandon me all alone? I got 6 kids. The cops are here. I'm surrounded." Ventura responded with, "Please stay far away from me." She claims he later showed up at her apartment, yelling and banging on the door. Now, you'll notice the contact name here is Pop Pop. Yesterday, Ventura testified that Combs wanted her to call him Pop Pop because it was her nickname for her grandfather. She said she thought that was weird and disrespectful. Ventura testified the hotel beating left her with a fat lip and a black eye that she covered up with makeup and sunglasses when she walked the red carpet for a movie premiere just days later. Now, because this is a federal trial, no cameras are allowed. So to get a better feel for how all of this is playing out inside the courtroom, tonight we're talking to crime reporter and podcast host Laura Conlon, who has been inside watching it all unfold. Lauren, thanks for being here. So take us inside that courthouse. How has Combs been responding to Ventura's testimony?
Thank you for having me. Ugh, it's been really rough to watch, let me tell you. But Sean Combs has remained pretty stoic throughout this entire time. When Cassie first walked in as a witness yesterday, he did seem to stare directly at her, trying to make eye contact with her. However, Cassie was having none of that. She walked right past him and gave the prosecutor a smile. And I have to say, she is so brave and just incredibly relatable on the stand, just as a human being in her answers. You genuinely believe her. You genuinely feel for her. And as a female, you can understand what it's like to be 19, 22, and have this man who has it all, has so much power, a record label that you are signed to, come into your life, take over, and exercise this coercive control that seemed to be a cycle of abuse. And I have to say, I mean, it is sickening. Clearly, he has not been convicted of anything yet, but we are learning inside the courtroom just how vile this man is. And it makes your stomach turn. I mean, I can give you examples, but I will let you lead here because it's a lot.
Well, you know, and you're hearing a lot of people that are there listening to all of the testimony firsthand, really coming out feeling emotionally impacted by it, right? Because it is so traumatic. And one of the most traumatic things that we heard today, I think, from today's testimony was Ventura. She started to break down in tears when she said she went to rehab, she had to go to trauma therapy as a result of all of this. She even talked about when she got suicidal at one point. She said, quote, "I didn't want to be alive anymore at that point. I couldn't take the pain that I was in anymore. And so I just tried to walk out the front door into traffic, and my husband wouldn't let me." What was that moment like when she was describing this?
That was probably the most awful moment of the day for me. And I know everybody around me was very moved. There were tears. I couldn't quite see the jury at this moment. Unfortunately, I do know the makeup of the jury is 8 men and 4 women. So I mean, it was emotional. She really sat there and opened up and said, "Look, if it wasn't for my husband who kind of brought me back in here and helped me get to this trauma rehab and rehab in general, you know, I wouldn't be here." And she said at the end, after they discussed actually her getting that $20 million settlement in 2023, after she filed that civil lawsuit, which, by the way, we didn't actually know how much she got. The prosecutor asked her, "Well, why are you here? Why do you want to testify?" And she said, quote, "I can't carry this anymore. The shame, the guilt. I was guided to treat people like they were disposable. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong." And I think something you said earlier was so eye-opening to many of us, where she would testify about this horrific abuse, about what she went through, and then we'd see a photo of her that same night on the red carpet in a beautiful dress with a beautiful smile, and then she'd point out all the places that she had makeup on her body to cover up these awful bruises.
You know, it's interesting. Things, you know, reminded once again, pictures are not telling the full story, right? You've got to really understand what people are going through. You know, as a former prosecutor, I'm watching the prosecution case here, and I see certain things that they're eliciting from her in her testimony. Try to sort of get ahead of it before the defense brings it up, right? They're going to start their cross-examination tomorrow. Things like sometimes she initiated some of the fighting, right? And sometimes she wrote him loving text messages. And, you know, after all of these freak-offs, she's still going out to a nice dinner with him. How are those things playing? Do you think that the jury will be able to see that, you know, this is an abusive relationship where you go back and forth? Or do you think there might be some saying, well, this is consensual. She keeps going back and doing these things. She must have been there because she wanted to be.
Well, you know, Cassie's doing a really good job of explaining why she continued to go back. And it all comes down, for me, in my opinion, is the fact that she was so young. She says it herself. She couldn't exercise what she wanted to say to him, how she felt. She was 21 years old, 20 years old. And, you know, she kind of says, "I loved him so much. I just wanted approval from him. I wanted his love." Additionally, I don't think that kind of question about why you go back in a relationship can be answered in a short segment. I'm certain they're going to have some kind of doctor come on the stand and testify about why this stuff happens. But I mean, as far as what people are thinking, I mean, you know, it's tough to say. I have heard some people say, well, yeah, I mean, she could have left, but again, you know, it's not that easy. And when you said the prosecutor does get ahead of these things, they have been doing a very good job of that. They also said, you know, Cassie did go back to Combs again after this rape occurred. And a lot of us were like, wait, what? And she gave Cassie a chance to explain. And Cassie said, like, oh, I kind of wish I didn't, but it's not that easy. You cannot just turn off this type of love and also this type of control. And Cassie also said when the one time she did hit Sean Combs first, he called her some very bad names. It was one square punch to the face. He had no injuries. And that very night was one of the most horrific accounts of abuse that I had ever heard of. This was the account where he stomped her in the car that night, and she ran out after the car stopped, and a security guard followed her, brought her back to the house where she was in the basement, covered in blood, knots on her face, her eyes swollen. She began to vomit, and she even says that when Combs walked in after to see her, even his demeanor changed, and he was kind of like, whoa, what did I do? And I'm paraphrasing, but that was the gist of it. That was one of the most horrific accounts of abuse I have ever heard.
Yeah, and I think it's very smart of the prosecution to get these things out and let her explain, like you just said, give full detail before she gets hit on cross-examination with it. And we do know that both sides are going to be calling these experts to talk about the cycles of domestic violence and abuse as well. Lauren Collin, thanks so much for being our eyes and ears on the trial today. Appreciate it. Tomorrow it'll be the defense's turn to question Ventura. The cross-examination will likely go into Friday, but the judge says this witness needs to be wrapped up by the end of the week.